Hello,
Got
hello.
it. I think I got it now.
Can everybody hear us
We're
now?
live.
Let's hope. Can everybody hear us? Give us, I don't know, show us
Yeah.
in the chat you can hear us.
I don't know why my avatar is not working. This is annoying. Okay, I see us on screen now, so there's that.
Cool.
So hopefully you can hear us.
Can you? Oh, we're getting yeses. All right,
Yay!
y'all. I'm so sorry
Finally.
for this. Welcome to our mess. This is the first time I've ever streamed, so there's that.
Awesome.
So welcome everybody.
Yes, welcome.
My avatar is not showing up either. Lovely. All right. So as you know, I'm Laura or Belle, whatever you want to call me. I think you know Jade and Shadow.
Hello.
Hello, hello.
And our plan is to go over the document that Andy Signor keeps striking down.
Weird,
Yeah.
huh?
So, let me see if I can figure out how to share a document. I'm pretty sure I know how to do it. Oh, that's not what I do.
I'm seeing some
And then,
familiar faces in here from, Saggy's stream last night. I guess while you're doing that, Laura, I will say it's been one hell of a, I don't know, I don't think it's even been 24 hours. It's just kind of getting to be a bit crazy out there in these streets. And for myself, I don't plan on talking about any of the bullshit that's going on. And again, I know I talk a lot. Oh my gosh, Luna, hi. Jacqueline, hello.
oh, yay. Luna,
We
Jacqueline.
miss you, girl.
Okay, let's see.
Sorry, but anyway, I was just gonna say, after sleeping on things and after really thinking about things, there's a lot of emotions on all perspectives. I don't want to say sides because I think that's ridiculous, but every person that's involved has their own emotions and their own feelings. I'm just going to go out and say, I don't know what I've said in the past. Again, like I said, I say a lot of things. I talk a lot. And I think everyone that's involved in this situation knows that this has been an emotional roller coaster. There has been a lot of ups and downs, anger, frustration, sadness, happiness too. But, I think in dealing with the loss of a friendship or friendships or just a loss in general, everybody has to go through their own process of accepting it, moving on, whatever. I'm not interested in mudslinging. I'm not interested in, oh, well, you said this 17 months ago. Jade, I'll say to you now, since there's, things coming out insinuating that I said shit about you, if I did, I'll own it. I don't know why I said it or when I said it or what I meant by it. I'm sorry.
Well, usually you like come to me. I mean, you talk to me. So,
Right. But if we're gonna go back, we'll go back to, when we didn't know each other, right? And the
mhm,
frustrations. Like I've seen it
right.
insinuated that I was angry at the Vegas situation. Again, it's frustration, right? And I said this in the voice chat last night on Saggy's Discord. Um, yeah, there's been times where it's like I feel frustrated at the amount of women that we have all talked to, be it as a group or individually. For whatever reason, they don't want to speak out publicly about this. And I have my own thoughts on it. I'm a human being. I'm allowed to have thoughts. And I see it as this has gone on from 2017 to now, it's escalating, right? And I made the comment, like, for everyone that's still holding this man's secret, in my opinion, like, again, my opinion, it's just a matter of time before somebody gets hurt. And maybe, if everyone stops carrying his secret and stops, being afraid of it, maybe we could prevent that. Maybe we couldn't. I don't know. But, to have this plethora of proof and not be able to share it is very frustrating, and not just the truth, so I'm not playing games. I'm not, gonna live in fear over every word that I've said. I can't take back anything I've said or done. I can only try to do better going forward. So, and I have a great support system around me to do that. So this is me, whoever's hearing my voice. Someone wants to drop fucking receipts and, paint me out to be this monster, that's fine. I'll own it. But that's not me now. And you could talk to me about it or you could not. I don't care anymore. My focus is on bringing awareness of what this man is doing. So there, I've said my beat.
I couldn't agree more.
Yeah,
it's the only thing that
absolutely.
matters, and that's why we started this whole thing. And any other added drama just is really not what I'm trying to focus on.
I've been speaking out for the last year and a half.
Mm-hmm.
So if people can't see my character through all of the videos and blog posts, then, screw them.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say.
Right.
I think it's all out there for people to see. If they choose to misinterpret it, then I don't think it's on me. Just saying.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I think I figured out how to share the document. So, so should we do that? Should we just start with that? All right. Let me see. All right. Hey. Hey, look at that.
I agree. Mel West, I agree. That's why I said what I said. Like, if I don't know what I said or when I said it or how I said it, but like, if I said it, I'll own it. If there's an explanation for it, I'll explain it. But I'm not gonna be silent because of a threat of showing things from months ago that are irrelevant to what we're trying to do here.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Ooh, let's look at the screen. What are we looking at here?
Okay. This is the document. The document that Andy doesn't want you to see, that he has been striking down.
Repeatedly.
So,
repeatedly.
Yes. It's been struck down twice, but this one seems to be pretty safe, so I'm kind of proud of myself. It's on my blog. Anybody can go look at it. Okay, so we're going to start. Jade's story starts when she reached out to Andy via Instagram because she was asking about how to interact on his YouTube channel because you had no idea how to do that.
Right. Like, like his channel was the I was never into YouTube before watching his stuff. Like the most I would do with YouTube is uh sit next to my fiance and watch like Joe Rogan with him. So I had no idea how to work anything.
Plus, I think his live streams are subscribers only. I think like you have to be a subscriber to actually comment.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
makes sense. I know one of the things when Andy popped up into Saggy's live stream, he had said something like you and him were friends.
Yeah,
Sorry.
which is really weird and a little bit creepy.
Hmm.
I don't know why he would say that we're friends after I've been like exposing him and trying to show people who he really is. Um, and after he sent the PI after me, he's gonna sit there and say that we're friends. I don't know if it was a joke. If it was, it wasn't funny.
Hmm.
Um, more so creepy. Um,
Well, how old were you when you like first reached out and started interacting with him?
October 2021, I believe I was 27? No, yeah, I was 27.
27. Okay.
Hmm. Yeah,
I was
and
trying to show everybody my shirt. Hold on. Not to interrupt everyone, but like, check this out. Oop, wait.
I never got dressed. I didn't put on my new shirt today.
I have mine on. Hold on.
Okay.
Woohoo!
Let's see. Hang on. There we go.
a
Blocked by Andy Signor. Nice. Nice.
wear it like a badge.
That's right.
It is an exclusive club. Sorry. Oh.
Um,
So
but
yeah,
yeah,
he had
so
said you were
him trying to say that we're friends, I don't know if he was trying to be like funny about it. I don't know. It just like how, but the way I took it was really creepy, and it almost makes me wonder, maybe like, is he trying to tell himself that? Like,
I
well.
think
I
he's
mean,
I think
okay,
he's
so you and him, you and him did have quite the, interactions, right? Like, he actually talked to you, and you kind of opened up to him about things that were going on. Yeah, correct?
yeah, I mean, we talked about everything. Just life, and he shared things, I shared things. We got to know each other. He he was being creepy, but just like not creepy, but just like with the flirting and stuff. And I just, whatever with that, but like we just were getting to know each other, I guess.
Hmm. Well, and then I know uh, you had gone on one of his shows, and we're talking about like your background and things that were going on.
Yeah, I had relapsed. I think it was maybe in March. I don't know what year.
21
2022.
probably, maybe 22. I'm sorry, 22.
Yeah, because we started
Here it
talking
is.
in October of 21.
Mm,
So I had relapsed, and I had talked to Andy about it before I even like got onto his stream,
hmm.
and he was he was being supportive, and um I guess now that I look back at it, it was more of like kind of making me feel guilty for what I did, but
Hmm.
at the same time, he was being supportive. So I don't know. I need that's what I needed. I needed support, and that's what he was giving me. So um,
So I know I think I saw Joey in the chat. I know a lot of us here are former mods of his. So I guess I'm kind of leading us to um, getting your trust. And then so there's a thing that happened that again I've kind of been looking at your perspective a lot more lately. And one of the things that you did not do in that community, and mind you, when we were there, meaning myself, Nola, Lola, Laura, when we were there, it was a lot smaller. There was not a lot of subscribers there. But one of the things that was a big, huge no-no was, putting your own cash app, and I don't mean just like your own cash, like PayPal, Cash App, those kind of things, Venmo. Like
mhm.
you weren't allowed to put your own out there to be like, hey, could
Right.
you help me too? Um, it was a very big line. It was a defined line that you did not cross. So when you came on and were telling your story, he almost didn't apply that rule to you at all. And in fact, did he he reached out to his bigger supporters, right, to try to help you financially, correct?
Yeah. So I was struggling financially a lot. Um, my fiance was having surgeries and stuff with he gets like really big kidney stones and stuff. So he was having surgery and we were about to get evicted because he was off of work and I had just had a baby. Um, and I just needed help. I was trying to find like a work from home job just because I knew that I wouldn't be able to leave the house just because my fiance had a stent in his like kidney and his back and all that kind of stuff. So for me to put all of like the childcare on him while he was trying to recover, just it just wasn't doable.
Right.
Um, so I was trying to find like a work from home job, and he connected me with one of his friends that I think maybe was like what's that called?
Where
I don't
he
know.
like where they help you find a job. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I don't know.
Like it's not in my head either, but I know what you're saying.
Yeah. So um, he like hooked me up with this person and didn't work out because she typically didn't do stuff where I'm from.
Hmm.
So it was hard to gather information and help me out that way. So it just really didn't work out. And like I said, we were pretty damn close to being evicted. And I needed help. I was trying to figure out, what's my next move. I can't even
Hmm.
DoorDash, like, because when I was pregnant, I would DoorDash a lot, like, just so I
Right.
could have extra money. And it was a high risk pregnancy, so I literally had to go to the hospital. I think it was like 3 days a week,
Hmm.
and it was an hour drive to the hospital. So, like, to have my own money and not have to, like, dig into like our rent and our bills and all that kind of stuff was such a big help. But
Right.
after having my son, it was just I couldn't do it, like you can't DoorDash with a
Right.
newborn. Um,
Okay, so if you're looking at it now, you're young, you just had a baby, and your pregnancy was a high, you know what I mean? It was a high risk pregnancy. So then you have your baby, and you're dealing with postpartum. your significant other is also dealing with health problems and surgeries and all of that. And so, out of the goodness of his heart, he decided, well, I make thousands of dollars a day. I might as well, hey, just if you could help her out, that would be great, right?
Hmm.
It's it's another building block. It's almost like love bombing, almost,
Well, yeah,
where
and he knew everything. He knew all of my struggles. He knew all of it. So I don't know, just for him to turn into what he turned into, I guess I wasn't expecting it, and
Mhm.
it came out of left field, and I genuinely thought that he was this good person that he claimed to be.
Mhm.
Um, just a
in
lot
in
of like toying with emotions.
right, in one of your talks with him, did you ever, get into the subject of like porn or like that kind of work? Like,
Um,
I'm asking Jade to get a little bit vulnerable now and let us in on a little aspect that we really haven't, we, all of us behind the scenes just recently kind of learned this. So I think it's really important to hear and to see this picture even clearer, more clear. You know what I'm trying to say. But anyway, like, let us in on, on how do you feel about porn, Jade? What are your thoughts on it?
okay, so I don't know how I want to like start this, but like, so after exhausting my like options, I guess, with jobs and just like how to make money,
Mm-hmm.
um, that's when he brought up fuck, I always forget the name of that site.
Come stars.
Comstars, that's what it was. He
Mm-hmm.
brought that up. And I was a bit confused when he brought it up, only because he knew um, some of my past that made me kind of like disgusted with porn, and like I didn't agree with it. And so I opened up to Andy and I told him about what had happened to me when I was younger.
Mm-hmm.
And I was 14 years old, and I was um, going into my freshman year.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a boyfriend, and he was 17 years old going into his senior year. And so like it just sounds weird because I was 14 years old and I was like staying the night at this guy's house, right? Like that's a really
Mm-hmm.
young age to be doing something like that. Well, okay, so I was adopted. It was an open adoption, or
Mm-hmm.
a partial adoption.
Right.
So basically, at any point, if my biological mom, wanted to take me back, she could have.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And if I wanted to go back to her, I could have. And I
Mm-hmm.
think my aunt was so afraid of that happening that she kind of was just very like lenient
Mm-hmm.
on what I wanted to do. That way we didn't clash.
Right.
Because the last thing she wanted was for me to go back into my mom's care.
Right.
Um, so that's just, like, I was staying the night at his house, and um, he was very, very abusive. A couple months in, everything just flipped. I mean, he ran me over with his car. He ripped the bedroom door off of the hinges, and um, like hit me over the head with the door. He would pin me onto the bed face down and just beat me in the back of the head until I would black out. And
Right.
this was like an everyday thing. It wasn't like, occasional. It was terrifying for a 14-year-old to
Right.
have to go through this and then like go to school a couple hours later. Like, I remember the day I got ran over by the car. It was early in the morning because he was dropping me off at my house, so I could get ready because I didn't have like enough clothes at his
Mm-hmm.
house. So he dropped me off before school, and I don't know, I guess like we got into an argument, and he ended up like trying to push me out of the car. Well, my leg got stuck in the door, and he just like threw it in reverse, went down the driveway, and I was being dragged because my leg was stuck in the door.
Right.
And he was just like watching me the whole time. Like, okay, so Andy knew all this stuff, right?
Uh-huh.
And one time I was staying the night at his house, and I had my back to him,
Mm-hmm.
and I was sleeping, and I woke up to the bed like shaking.
Mm-hmm.
And I turn around to see like what the hell's going on. And he's got his phone in one hand and his little ding dong in the other hand. And he was just like casually watching porn while I was sleeping next to him. And he said, if you're not going to help, close your eyes, roll back over, and go to sleep. And so I closed my eyes, I rolled back over, and I couldn't sleep. So I kind of was like forced to listen to all of that happen, and like it was just so disgusting, and I just felt so disgusted,
Mm-hmm.
like having to sit there while he's doing that, like, and I'm like 14 years old, so I lost my virginity to this guy, and like it in that moment I just felt so small. Like,
Right.
why would he do this? Like, what's wrong with me?
Right.
Why do just so many questions, you know? And
Mm-hmm.
and I guess just like ever since then, porn has been a really, really big like issue in any relationship that I got into.
Right.
Um, and I was sure to let people know, like the people that I date, you know, like, okay, so if this is gonna be a thing, then this is literally my one and only like boundary that I need to
Mm-hmm.
set.
Right.
Um, and yeah, I mean, and Andy knew that.
And so
And when I
his
told him that,
plan, his big plan for you was, you're hot, you're young, let's do porn,
hmm
knowing full well the issues that surrounded that subject for you.
yeah,
So everyone, like, if you've been listening, to what Jade's saying, you now have a young new mom with a newborn, with a significant other that, also dealing with health issues, had surgery. Eviction notices are on the door. It's, I think it's fair to say, and on top of it, dealing with addiction and relapse and, the emotions that come along with that. Um, Safe to say, a little bit desperate, scared. And so the person that you turn to who knows all of this stuff decides a good idea for you would be, you could be a webcam girl in this, I don't know, Bitcoin company that sounds bullshit just on top. So you're not comfortable with that. And so then he pushes you to OnlyFans.
well, I wouldn't say he pushed me to OnlyFans only because um, with being so close to being evicted,
Mm-hmm.
and me running out of options,
Right.
you know, I really just like that kind of was the easiest thing for me to do. Like it was always a thought. Like
Right.
maybe I could do that, just because like we're running out of time here. Like the courts were involved at this point, and I was scared. The last thing I wanted was to be out on the streets with my newborn
Right.
and my fiance who has a stent in his back and in his kidney. So yeah, I mean, at that point, I kind of was like willing to do
Set
what I
your
had to do.
aside, right? Set it
Hmm.
aside because there's this dude that's like, I can help you do that. And I mean, why wouldn't you believe that? Look at all
Right,
of the things that he's done, correct?
right. And he
Okay.
was telling me like I built two communities from the ground up, and I'm good at what I do, obviously, and I can help you out, and we can get you making this money. And I mean, he just made it sound like so promising, and like he was saying like you could be making money like today,
Right.
and that's exactly what I needed. So
Okay.
yeah, I fell
Where,
for it.
where are we at? What's the next page? I guess I kind of probably ran ahead, but in the document, what are some other screenshots? Like the next one? Laura.
Yeah, I don't have the doc pulled up or anything.
Me either.
I know Laura did.
It's okay. You're muted if that helps.
Oh, she is.
Mhm.
Um,
Wait, he's
damn,
done.
I wish I had it.
She got it. She's still muted though.
Sorry, I was sucking down a granola bar.
I love you.
Okay, so this looks like, what is it? Is this where he's offering to help?
Let's see.
Oh no, okay, I see. This is where you gave him your info.
Hmm. Yeah, this is did it go from October to May?
I just have dates from May to June, so
Okay.
here's the
Okay, so yeah. Um he would his whole thing was like I can help you get this money today. And but what needs to happen is like you need to um advertise yourself.
Hmm.
And knowing what I know now, for him to tell me to advertise on Instagram was like the stupidest thing
Yeah,
he could have possibly done because
absolutely.
like I never had a Twitter before any of this. Like I created this Twitter specifically to speak out on
Hmm.
Andy.
Right.
Um, so like now that I know more about Twitter, I wish he would have like said, "Hey, why don't you advertise on Twitter?" Because
Mm.
way easier than Instagram.
Right. Well, and the thing is, it's like specifically for OnlyFans, because like Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it, because their guidelines are a little more relaxed. A lot of OnlyFans creators will kind of advertise and tease on their Twitter, X, whatever, to send people to their OnlyFans, content.
Mm,
And so
right.
Instagram is a heck of a lot more strict in what you can show on that. So yeah, when I kind of looked at that, I was like, why in the hell would he say to go through Instagram to advertise when, I'm sure an Instagram would have eventually been a good idea, but not starting out, not to
Right.
market
I
and,
agree.
reach out to other people.
Yeah.
So yeah, so he's pitching and his way of helping you Oh gosh. So y'all, here's my opinion. My opinion, my conspiracy, my whatever. Um, in looking at this and seeing how at every step he was keeping her out of actually being successful. And we can look at all of the women that are surrounding him right now professionally that, like Oprah, he was like, you get a channel and you get a channel and you get a channel. You know,
Yeah.
if you look at, like, it's Kim, she's up over 25,000 subscribers already. I know Steph was already established in YouTube, but, he has significantly increased her sub count also. And so it's like, why is it that Kim in, we'll say, a couple of months went from 0 subs or 1 sub, sorry, Nola, 1 sub to, we'll keep it easy and say 12,000, right? 12,000 subscribers. But Jade's account didn't get off the ground. Or, I mean, it did. She did make a little bit of money, but not through any help of him. So, yet again, when we get into the things like, how would Andy suggest to help you? What were some of the things he wanted to do? It becomes blaringly obvious what he's doing, in my opinion, because it's just disgusting. But I'll let Jade talk about that.
Yeah,
Like, what's one
so
of the things he would tell you to do?
okay, so I told him straight up, like, so like my past with like porn and just like all that kind of stuff. So I'm really uncomfortable with doing this, and like I don't know how to start it. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so like I need advice, like I need what do I do? I you know what I mean? I
Right.
knew nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And so he's kind of was like, well, you could start off with kind of getting to know them, being a little flirty with them. And so he would say things like, for instance, you could start out with maybe talking on the phone and then having it turn into like if they want like phone sex, then you charge them. And that's when I kind of like stopped them and I was like, no, like that's so uncomfortable for me. Like I don't think I could do that. And he said, well, you could practice with me. Just give me a call. Um, I you could practice with me. And it was so shocking that he would say that because no,
So
why would I do that?
he wanted you to pretend to flirt with him and talk to him sexually, so you could get used to doing it with random men.
Correct.
Mm-hmm. Um. Wow.
Yeah. And like at the time, obviously, yes, I thought it was really weird. I didn't do it. Let's be clear. Okay. I
Mm-hmm.
did not do, I did not do that.
Right.
But like I thought it was so weird. And I told him like, no, I'm so uncomfortable with it that maybe that's just not even something I'll do. And then
Mm-hmm.
he would say things like, well, if you're not willing to have phone sex with someone, then what are you even doing? How do you think you're going to make money? Like, you have to be like interactive with these men and or women. And basically, grow some balls is what he told me.
Right.
And he would just push me to just basically
So,
do what he wanted. It was
yeah.
never, Jade, what do you want? What do you feel comfortable doing?
Mm-hmm.
What do you feel comfortable showing? It was never nothing like that. It was just like hey, I've got some ideas for, things you could do. You could do this, you could do that, you could do, all
Did,
this type
did
of
he ever
stuff.
say that you could do like, bathing suits or lingerie shoots like that?
No,
Where it
that
wasn't
that
full
was
on.
no, that was something I thought about like later on, was like I don't have to like it doesn't have to be like porn. Like it could be
It could be whatever you want.
anything. Yeah.
Mhm.
And
Hmm.
that's not like I didn't think about that until after the fact.
Right. Well, I
But
mean, you were trusting him. Yeah.
he was pushing me towards like not even pushing me towards. It was just like the only option he gave me. Um, which I know that kind of sounds stupid because like it's my page or whatever, like,
Hmm.
but he was the one that was like willing to help me and help me with like getting subscribers and all this kind of stuff. And I just didn't know what I was doing.
Right.
I
He was
I just kind of was
like the
like going with the
producer.
flow. He promised me all this money would be coming in, and so I just literally tunnel vision put my trust into this guy because, like I said, we had built a friendship.
Uh-huh. And let's see, Mel
Um,
West says he was playing you, seeing how far you would go for him. As far as he was concerned, he got someone who will do anything for him in his mind anyway. Absolutely. And then if she wouldn't do it, he could just shame her and tell her, well, if you want to make money, you better get used to it.
yeah.
But I mean, he would go as far as to, you know, like, okay, so he said about talking to people, flirting with people. Did he ever try to get you to, what are the other, can you think of any other instances where he would do that? Like, well, try this on me, practice on me so you're comfortable doing it.
Yeah, I mean, he did the same. Cause I mean, like, I was just like scared. Not, I
In
want to
one
say
of your
scared.
videos, you talked about mommy and daddy and baby girl or whatever. How was that conversation?
Yeah. Yuck. So he was telling me about different kinks that people have
Mhm.
and how I basically needed to be prepared for anything.
Right.
Um, which I mean, it's true to a point, but if I wasn't comfortable with it, I
Yep.
could have easily said no, like I'm not doing this. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Right.
Um, but he wanted me to practice because I was just expressing how nervous I was.
Hmm.
Um, because I never planned on doing anything like live streaming, like nothing like
Right.
that. I didn't want to be like a cam girl, so to speak.
Uh-huh.
So everything that I wanted to do was going to be like pre-recorded, stuff like that. And he was like so set on me going live and how I would get so many more people tuning in and giving money if I went live. And he really, really tried so hard to talk me into it, which I knew from the beginning I wasn't going to do it. It didn't matter, how hard he tried to convince me to do it.
Uh-huh.
Like my heart was telling me no, and like that's that, and that's what I told him. So he told me that um, I could hop on Zoom and practice with him and get comfortable. And he would give me requests and I would like have to follow through with them. So
Yeah.
if he wanted to see this, he would say like, "Oh, can I see this?" And
Uh,
that was his plan. It never happened because, like I said, I knew that I wouldn't be doing that on
mhm.
OnlyFans, period. So like, why would I practice it? You know what I mean?
Right. Right. I think in hearing all of this and seeing it, it's like, so basically, under the guise of helping you, He literally had his own, he could try at least to tell you to do so many things that
Mhm.
was all about him and what he liked and how he wanted it. And it's disgusting. It is so gross on
Yeah.
so many levels.
Yeah, it really is. And ugh, it just is just I don't understand how he could be so comfortable with with even just saying the things that he said and
Mhm.
trying to get me to do the things that he wanted me to do, or like the vulnerable positions he wanted to see me in, or what he wanted to hear me say. And a lot of it was like you mentioned, mommy, where's
Mhm.
mommy? Is mommy gonna catch us? Like that kind of stuff.
Mhm. Wow.
And
So go ahead.
it was just very, very uncomfortable, even when he would like explain to me the like different people's like kinks and stuff. And yeah, it's so gross. It's
Here's here's where I'll say my, PSA. Like, we're not about kink shaming. Like, if whatever your kink is, get it. I don't have any like. I get it. There are a lot of individual and unique people out there, right? And there literally is something for everyone. And so, um, what did
but to
Han?
try and force a girl into doing something that she is not comfortable with doing,
Right.
and like being persistent about it
Mm.
after she said no 20 times,
Right.
like 20 times in one conversation,
Yeah.
not even like throughout the span of a week. I'm
Right.
talking like one day.
Hmm.
And then if he wouldn't get his way, it was always, well, whatever, I got stuff to do. I got to get ready for my live or my stream or whatever he would call it.
I don't got time for you.
Yeah, yeah, I got shit to do. So let me know when you want to get serious about this. Let me know when you want to really make some money. And then time would go by, and then he'd come back all sweet, like he wasn't just weird and aggressive and mean.
Hmm.
And he would try to do it all over again. Like, okay, have you thought about it? What have you done? Have you gotten more subscribers? And I'm like, you are supposed to help me with this. Like, I don't know what I'm doing, but the way you're helping me isn't the kind of help that I need. I just need you to like help me get a following. I don't
Right.
need you to help me navigate through like what I plan on doing. I could figure
Yeah.
that out on my own.
Right.
After talking to these people, like whatever they were, whatever they wanted. If I wasn't comfortable with it, I would tell them no, like I said.
Hmm.
Um, but he was just really pushy, and he would get mad when I would, say no. And
So if we're just kind of moving along here, um, when you started seeing things coming out, like had you heard of anything prior to like when we first did the stream, you know what I mean, with the first video that came out? Had you heard anything like that? Did you think that there were any other women that he was talking to? I know you and him didn't really get into an inappropriate thing between you and him, other than like I said, you and him weren't sexual, but the things that you were talking to him about and that he was supposed to be helping you with were. But did you know of any other like women that he was talking to at all?
No, so like I remember when it was like a big deal and someone came out, I think it was like something that had to do with like witchy women or like a
Hmm.
raven or something something
Yeah,
like that. I
that's
know that sounds silly,
Raven's
but
video. Hmm.
okay, yeah. So like when that happened, I knew of it and I knew that there was a video of someone trying to quote unquote take Andy down.
Hmm.
Um, but I didn't know what it was about. I didn't know.
Hmm.
Um,
Why
like he
or
just, yeah, he just told me that like these like people used to be his mods, and now, now that they're not modding for him, they are trying to take all of his viewers and like, yeah, just take all of his viewers. That way
hmm.
they could be making the money and whatever. So it's like
Right.
all I knew. I never looked into it because he told me like there's no point. It's just stupid. Like,
Uh-huh.
you know, they're just talking out of their asses and to get what they want.
Hmm.
So I never looked into it. I never, I don't know, and
You were,
that's
you were
so
the good
stupid of
cult
me not
member
to.
and go looking like he told you not to. We get it.
Yeah, yeah. He yeah told me there's no point. I mean, just a waste of your time.
Right.
Um, so yeah, I didn't, and I had no idea that anyone came forward or anything like that.
Hmm.
I did know about April
Right. I
because
think
he
most
talked
of us
about that.
knew. Yeah, because
Yeah.
he talked about it so much, and you know that was
And he just seemed
his
very
victim thing.
proud of that whole April situation. Like, like I don't know, like these women are trying to tear me down and they can't because I'm truthful. Like
Hmm.
I'm being honest and like that kind of
Right.
just like the way he would say stuff like that. So I just like believed him. I mean, I'm sure like his viewers and supporters now do. I mean,
Oh, I mean, we believed him. You know what I mean? Like
right.
when we were there, we were the ones. Like anybody popped up saying anything, we were jumping in the mix. Defending him.
Yeah.
That's what you were do. That's what you were supposed to do. you know, like you were
Yeah.
supposed to defend him. So when the first video was exposed, I guess now we're getting into, you know, how it went bad between you and him. Like, why did that happen? Why did he decide to try to get you for extortion and, showed you the ugly side of his personality?
Because eventually, he was talking about saggy melons and how she had a Discord that, and it was a group of women who just hated him and they basically all gathered to just like talk shit about him.
Hmm.
And I didn't even question it. I just thought, okay, like
Hmm.
it's the women that started that channel and now they've moved on to like a Discord or whatever, which I didn't even know what that was at the time, so I didn't care.
Right.
Um, but then I heard someone came out with their story,
Hmm.
and I was like, whoa, wait a minute.
Hmm.
This is oddly similar to the things he's doing and saying to me, and it just something about it didn't feel right.
Right.
So I don't remember exactly, but like I know that I sent him a screenshot of, or maybe it was just me saying, I don't know whatever screenshot it is, like it's on my Twitter, but me saying like, it's oddly similar to the way you speak to me, Why,
Mhm.
like, why are you like this person took back their consent and you're being weird with them still, and just like so many questions
Right.
instantly in my head.
Mhm.
And I regret it to this day, but I wish that I didn't send him any screenshots or anything. And I wish that I just would have joined the Discord and just saw what was going on, you know?
Yeah.
Um, that way I could get like, I guess
All
like
of your
definitive
questions
proof.
answered. Right. Your questions answered along with proof of what he was
Right.
doing. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, so yeah, I mean that's and like when I told him that I just thought it was so weird that
Mhm.
how similar the stories were and something just wasn't adding up, and he said what did he say? Something about you're just adding bullshit. You're just adding more bullshit to this. You know, I've got a lawsuit going against the women who are speaking out, and they're fucked. So if I were you, I wouldn't put yourself in that situation, the situation that these other women are putting themselves in, and
Mhm.
just trying to scare me away from speaking out.
Right. And which he's really good at that. Like he likes to use dog whistle words to freak everyone out and scare everyone into silence. With,
Hmm.
oh, don't worry, we're getting legal counsel, or oh, the truth will come out. We're talking to lawyers, and you know most people would be like, oh shit, like knowing that what they're saying is the truth, but don't have the money to go through something like that, so they literally um shut down and
But
stop talking.
yeah. And
And
I was very close to doing that because I mean, as you all know, I had no money. I mean we were struggling, so
yeah, and then of course
that was
he
like
said, well, first he tried to trap you in a method, right? Like he tried to pretend like
yeah.
nothing has happened, and what do you want, money?
Yeah. Yep. He after I sent him the screenshot showing him the proof that like well because I said to him like the way you were talking to her and the way you were treating her is eerily similar to the way that you are talking to me and treating me, and it's just not it's just not okay what
Hmm.
you're doing. it's
Right.
it's not okay, and something smells fishy, and I instantly got very uncomfortable
Hmm.
um with all of it. And he said like, Jade, I don't know what you're talking about. What conversations? Like the only thing we ever talked about was your fiance's health issues, um, financial troubles, uh, just things like that. And I was like, I don't even think I said anything. I think I just sent him a screenshot of him begging me to come visit him and offering me $1,000 to go have sex with him.
Right.
Um, and so that's when he replied, "So what do you want, money?"
Right.
So he was basically trying to coerce me into extorting him.
Hmm.
And
Entrapment, like completely. It's entrapment when he's like, so what do you
entrapment.
want?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yep. And
Yeah.
no, I don't want money. I really
Hmm.
don't. Um, and I think that he thought I would ask for money, obviously because of my
How he
situation. I
set
was
it up, right?
struggling, and
Well, how he set it up in the beginning. He set it up as it's an okay thing, it's an acceptable thing, it's completely fine. You know, if people can help, that's fine. Go ahead, help her. So yeah, of
Mhm.
course he would go there because he'd set it up that you were literally the one person that was able to seek out, or not seek out like you were just going around asking everyone for money, but if things were happening and you needed help quickly, he had set that up to be a comfortable thing, even though I know for you it was not comfortable.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, so when he then turns around and at the end almost punishes you for that, that's just, I know there's probably a term for him doing that, but like, I can't think of a word gross enough to describe that. Like, so, but I'm pretty sure, at least it seems to me, in my opinion, you know, that was his out, was, you know, he could do and get all of the sexual things that he wanted, you know, almost daily. But yet if you got offended or upset, or he perceived you as getting upset, he could literally just say, what do you mean? This is like business. I was trying to help you.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And,
Yeah.
you know, him sending, that's when, you know, you got introduced to the PI.
Yeah. I believe it was actually the same day that he played stupid, saying like, well, what, the only thing we talked about was your, financial troubles and your fiance. And after I sent him the screenshot, obviously he was terrified. So later that day, actually, I think it was just a couple hours later, he sent me, or the PI sent me a text message,
Mm-hmm.
saying that I needed to give him a call, and basically, if I didn't, he would advise Andy to go to law enforcement, which is what that was like his second step if I didn't follow what the PI said.
Right.
So the
And
PI
I
wanted me to send
happened.
screenshots of Andy offering me the $1,000 to go to Florida to have sex with him. That's what the PI wanted. Well, I didn't want to send the PI anything. I didn't even know if he was a real PI to begin with. The way
Mm-hmm.
he was talking to me was very creepy. I mean, he came out and basically was like, I'm a PI, this is my name, this is where you live, and this is where your fiance lives, and you're in trouble. Like, and it was scary.
Yeah. I remember
I
when
was
that happened, because we were communicating at least a little bit with you, or some of us were,
Yeah,
and you know, that was enough.
Nola.
Like, that almost worked. It almost worked.
It almost did. It really, and I was, to say that I was scared is like an understatement, because
Mm.
that's the last thing that I needed on my plate at at that time.
Right. That's fair. And I mean, I think all of us saying like, no, let them. You know what I mean? Go to law enforcement. You know, like maybe you should go to law enforcement and talk to them and tell them, you know, and show them all of this proof and see what they have to say. And
Right.
I guarantee you that wasn't factored into what could be your reaction.
Mm-hmm. I'm just reading some of these comments.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, let's check the chat. What's the chat saying?
I've been watching the chat and highlighting comments.
Yeah, Andy's very big with scare tactics, and deflection and distraction are the other two that he likes to use also.
Yeah,
Watching
and
my phone today.
they did want me scared. They wanted me very scared, and that's actually I don't I don't remember exactly what it was, but like the PI, when I was on the phone with him, the next day we had a phone call, and he told me like it was like towards the end of the conversation. He basically was like begging me to send him the screenshot of Andy offering me the $1,000, and he was saying things like, you know, this could get you in big trouble, and you're a new mom. You don't want that. You don't want to be, you know, jailed and have your newborn son, you know, with someone else or just with his father, and like really, really trying to scare me by bringing my son into it and basically saying like he's going to be taken from me, or you know, because I'll be in jail, I won't be able to care for him or see him grow up. And like
Wow.
that really fucking scared me, even though I knew that like I didn't do shit wrong, right? Like
Right.
like but the way that like I wasn't lying about anything, I wasn't nothing, but the way
Hmm.
that they were coming at me was so aggressive.
Yep.
And for them to bring my son into it and say like, you know, you're, I mean, the PI made me cry by saying that.
Yeah.
Like I remember just being in tears.
Hmm.
And I think that after I got off the phone with him, he most likely called Andy and was like, "Oh, she's scared. Oh, she's very scared. She's gonna
Right.
send me the screenshot." But I
Hmm.
didn't, and I'm so glad that I didn't.
Right. And I mean, and at that point, we were like, do not send him anything. You know what I mean? You
Yeah.
don't have to. He's not, he ain't shit. And I think he was on an information gathering mission to try to see
Yep.
what exactly you had.
I mean, he went as far as looking into like my past. Like he said that I had like a forgery charge. I was so confused because that has never happened before a day in my life.
And I
And
remember when
he
you
said,
and I were talking about that, and he was like, it was in 2004. You're like, I was 4 years old.
no, yeah, I was in fourth grade. That's what it
The
was.
fourth
Yeah.
grade. I was in fourth grade. Like, oh my God.
But I was thinking, okay, well maybe he got like his information wrong. Maybe he meant 2014.
Hmm.
Because I did get in trouble with the law in 2014, but it wasn't for forgery. So I thought maybe like
Right.
I don't know, he got it messed up somehow, or so like I was just all around terrified.
Right. So, okay, y'all, like we're over the hour mark now. I'm just gonna say, like I said, with all of the things that have happened in the last couple of weeks, for myself, I have been literally looking into like Jade's screenshots and obviously getting to know her and talking to her and learning more about Jade as a person. And like while we were talking about the OnlyFans thing, for those of y'all that don't know, my daughter did it for a good minute. And so, um, again, I have no problems with it. Like, if you got it, flaunt it. Even if you don't got it, still flaunt it because someone will like it. But like, again, it's learning the whole business and marketing aspect of that. That I was like, hold up, something's wrong here, and that's why it's like I obviously I can't prove it. Obviously, it's not like, I mean, maybe Andy has some kind of weird diary off to the side that he writes all these things down in, but in my opinion, he never had any intention on launching Jade onto a platform where she wasn't completely, or not completely, we'll say, where she wasn't dependent on him to the point where he would say, well, what are you doing? Like, show me your previews. Like, run it through me first. Like, there would have he would have always been there because that was like literally his buffet. He could run any scenario with her and be creepy about it. Like, so I just realized that while we, are are trying to support all of these women. And again, there are many. And each individual story, it was like trying to make sure that none of them were lost, that none of them were silent, but not really understanding that, like, while they're all similar, they are all different. And it's like mind blowing, the level of just growth when you step back and look at Jade's full situation.
It really
So
is.
yeah, there are other aspects in our 2-week break there that we've been looking into. One of the other ladies, I'm hoping, now hers isn't inappropriate, but looking at the aspect of working for free and all that stuff. Hopefully we can talk about that a little bit more.
Yeah. Taking
Yeah.
advantage of his fans for
Mhm.
financial gain.
Mm-hmm.
That's, yeah.
Yep. We have plenty to say. And again, we can, still, talk about more things with Jade and what we've all gone through in being in that cult. And that's what it is. I could say the big dog whistle word, the grooming word. The more I learn about grooming, it doesn't have to be sexual, but when you're in a situation where you all think alike and you don't step out of line, yeah, it's like grooming for cult behavior.
That's what a cult leader does. He grooms his followers, and absolutely,
to protect, to defend, to agree with, and then financially support with no questions asked.
Yep.
We've seen recently where he, put it out to his people about giving him money for a lawsuit against Netflix. And in that description, he even says, he sets it up so you can't ask questions. Like, what?
He doesn't like questions.
No, he does not. He does not like questions.
Or to be questioned.
True. Then you end up in the most exclusive club ever. And, it's the best club to be in, the Block by Signal Club, because, it just means that, you've seen him for what he really is.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he's a pig. That's what he is.
Yeah. Yes.
And I wish I
know that
stupid,
there are,
I guess, and saw it a little sooner.
right?
All of us wish that.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then, I know there are, things like petitions that are going out. Again, I'm not trying to judge anybody's path, whatever, like, if that's what you feel like you need to do, then, do it. I don't agree with it just because, not that I'm trying to defend a predator. I just think that it's not realistic. And it just opens it up to so many things that, like, again, I'm not trying to talk shit. I'm not anything. I'm just explaining myself as to why I don't want to have anything to do with that. That's it. That's all. There's no emotions behind it. We're not going to get to 700,000 people, and he makes YouTube a lot of money. So again,
he does.
All we can do is raise awareness and focus on that, and hopefully reach, more of these women. Hopefully they're listening and they're watching, and it's just about understanding you don't have to hold this man's secret. We hear you wherever you're more comfortable. That's all that it's about.
And another thing about the whole petition thing. I just feel like I'm not talking shit, like you said. It's if that's what they feel, is best, then like go for it, whatever. But I just feel like it gives Andy another way to, say that he's the victim and twist it up
Yeah.
and that's just like yeah. He's really good at that and kind of
Yes, Tom.
sucks.
Truth and accountability. Truth and accountability are so, so important. And like that's why I was what I said at the beginning, right? I'm taking accountability for things that I said, and if someone feels the need to put that out there, okay. I'm sorry. I don't know what it is or why, but I'm sorry. But yeah, truth and accountability, and just again exposing the pattern of behavior. Like there's so many patterns here that it's kind of it's unfortunate that here we are.
Yep. Here we are.
I've got words. Alexa Nicholas. Okay.
All right, guys. Well, I am out of here. I'm gonna go spend some time with my family, my son.
Yeah.
Nice weather, so gotta take advantage of it before it gets cold.
I know, right? I'm so excited. I can't wait. I love fall. I'm a fall girl. That's me.
I love fall, but once the snow starts hitting, ugh.
Yeah. All right, everyone. So again, we'll be back. We'll talk about more. We'll have some more ladies on to talk about, their perspective and things, both inappropriate and just ignorant. How's that sound? Halloween, yes, Gal Halloween is amazing.
Best.
But all right, everybody, you guys have a great day. Have a good weekend. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you.